All set.
Hey Val, great to chat with you again this morning. It's been, oh gosh, a couple of years now that we've known each other. So I think a little over two, right?
It has just hit 2 years that I've been, was it working with you on really getting healthy and dialed in on my training.
Awesome. And I know you had a bit of a weight loss result and journey before reaching out to me, and I think you were kind of stuck at a plateau. So tell me a little bit before we met. What was your life like in a minute, right? So I want to keep this a little short, this little testimonial thing. Tell me where your life was like and what was frustrating for you. You know, you got some great results, but where were you at when we met? And then I'll ask another a couple questions.
Yeah, so before we met, I mean, I had been morbidly obese and lost quite a bit of weight. I think it was over 85 pounds. And then I was stuck at a plateau for a number of years. But I kept going on my merry way. And I knew that I wanted to get into Ironman training. So that's why I reached out to you. And it was purely for training. I mean, someone had mentioned to me that you were helping people as well get healthy. And I mean, I honestly could care less at that time. But I was stuck in a plateau, and we had some really good discussions over the course of the time as we were working through a training plan. And that's when you had mentioned a solution. And I was open to anything because I've tried everything. Like, I've tried so many different programs and paid so much money for trainers, nutritionists, different programs, that like commercial programs that exist, where you go to meetings or you go into check-ins or you buy particular foods and that's all you can eat. And pretty much it tastes like cardboard. So when you had mentioned here was a different way to do it, I mean, yes, there was some cleansing with it, but I had been used to that because I was already doing intermittent fasting. So when you mentioned intermittent fasting to me, it definitely piqued my interest because I was doing it on a regular basis. Every week I was actually cleansing or fasting, if you want. And yes, I had done all the other cleanses. So I was a little skeptical because some of those were like those poopy type of cleanses that really just, made me really sick. But you told me a lot about it and then told me, hey, this company has a 30-day money back guarantee. You don't like it, return it. And I was convinced, I'm going to be returning the products because it's not going to work. I've tried so many things and I haven't been able to shake the plateau, and I guess I'm just stuck where I am. But decided to give it a shot, and I'm so happy I did.
So when you got going, what were the results? Say in the first 3 or 4 months of using the program, what happened?
So when I came in, I was absolutely exhausted. That was the one problem I had going into the training. I was so tired. I was frustrated. I was also super stressed. I had a super stressful job that I had just left, and it wasn't on good terms. And I was just feeling really crappy about myself. And I remember it took me literally 4 days of just being on the system and realizing something was changing. Some people will say it's like you're pooping unicorns. To me, it wasn't that. It was like this cloud had just lifted, like this big, heavy cloud, or this curtain that was sitting on top of my head just finally parted and lifted. And I felt so focused. So I had so much more energy, but it was the clarity. That's the thing that got me. It's like I couldn't understand what was going, but I just had that clarity that I haven't had in years. And that was when I knew this was something different.
Cool. And in physical results, so I know you lost a bunch of inches and pounds in those first few months. What happened there?
Oh yeah, so it dropped. And I remember, I think my first message to you, because yes, we part of it is shakes. And I mentioned to you that I've tried so many different kinds of shakes, and a lot of them, and I was, apprehensive about it because they were so awful. But I mentioned to you, this was the best darn tasting shake I've ever tried, and you could quote me on it. And I remember that was my first message to you about that. But then I was so surprised how quickly and how easily the weight came off. It was just melting. And I was asking you, where is it going? Because this has not been, I've never had anything this easy in terms of where it wasn't complicated, where I didn't have to count things and measure things and, put them into little colorful containers. And that's all I could have for the day. It was so, so simple to follow, that the weight just fell off. It just disappeared. And I mean, I had to buy a whole new wardrobe for training which was
And,
kind of
and how did you feel as you were going through that? Because I know a lot of times when people are dieting or doing a weight loss thing, which I don't consider this to be, they don't feel so good, you know, tired. And you mentioned you got good energy, good recovery, so focus a little bit on that.
Oh, absolutely amazing. I mean, I ended up signing up for a race I didn't expect and did really well considering, because I hadn't trained going into it. And I mean, and it's true, in the past, the weight loss, unless it was gradual so that the energy could keep catching up to it. This one, it was like I had more energy than I knew what to do with. So much so that I remember you had to tell me, back off, like calm down, cool down, you know, like don't go full speed ahead, because there was just so much energy, which was really strange. And I couldn't understand it. And I mean, I wanted to understand it, but I had to keep my head out of trying to figure that part out and just live the experience. And I'm so grateful for it, because it just really helped me with that energy more than anything. Like, it was the clarity and the energy that I had, which pushed my training even further.
And as a result of all that, I know you're sharing this with other people as well, but as a result of feeling the benefits of all this and, you know, getting healthier and having more energy, I know you've done Ironman since then. And what other things are you doing in your life there, you know, as a result of dialing into Isagenix?
Oh my, since starting Isagenix, so I decided, I was at a turning point too of deciding what to do, going back to corporate world again, building up a business, because I'd been an entrepreneur before. So it was trying to make that decision. What do I do? And to turn around and realize that there was a business opportunity, and I really wanted to do this because it was something I believed in. I could stand behind the products. They worked for me, and it was something that I knew would work for other people. And people quickly started asking, what's going on? That, I think, was the amazing part. Within a week, I had people telling me, something's different about you. You look different. Even not even within a week, it was over a weekend when I got back. I was just doing a temporary job and got back into the office, and they said, you look different, like what's going on? And that's where it was so easy to just share, you know, this is what I'm using, don't know what's happening, but I'll plug you into someone who can help explain this. And now I have the privilege of helping other people do the same thing, and to see people on my team who are experiencing such amazing results as well. I've got athletes as well. I've got busy executives who wanted simpler solutions and are finding it, and they're able to enjoy that small little amount of time they have that much more because they've got the energy for it. So it's really exciting to move in that direction. But yeah, more sports. I'm active. I've got now a puppy that keeps me super busy and active and on the go, and just really loving it and building up a great team.
Awesome. Well, Val, that's a great experience. I'm glad this kicked in so nicely for you. Thanks so much for sharing this with us today. Have a great day.
Thanks, Steve. Have a great day too.